For the last couple of weeks, Club DMB has cost a little bit of money to get in. But tonight, there was no cover. The DMB post-show stream starts now.
Evening. I can only hope.
Best opener of all time for DMB. Shout out to the Stones.
I was just one
Kobe and Shaq. Jordan and Pippen. Jeff Coffin and the soprano sax. All-time great combinations here. We're going to skip a little bit of this to get to the start of the show here. Got some guests on deck. Stay tuned. Let me let Jeff cook a little bit, then we'll skip this next part. What up, Robin Popovich? Good to see you in the chat. CD, what up? Shout out to Cam. Mike, what up? I see you in there as well. One of my favorite shots of all time here. This part of the Stone Mohegan.
It's your boy Concert Viz 34 back at home.
What up, what up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34.
Yep, so your boy Concert Viz 34 coming to you here.
What up, what up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Arya. Okay, so this is Arya, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews games.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28th, 1998. And if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
But Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. Maryland, what up? DC, what up? Virginia, what up? Shout out to the Eastern Shore. Bel Air, what up? Shout out to all of Harford County out there in Maryland. Baltimore City. Glen Burnie, what up? PG County, what up? Anne Arundel County, what up? Greenbelt, what up? Silver Spring, what up? Bethesda, I can never afford to live there, but shout out to y'all. Y'all getting money out there. Frederick, what up? Towson, what up? College Park, what up? Shout out to Bowie. Laurel, Maryland, what up? Oxon Hill, what up? Shout out Arlington, Virginia. Y'all don't ever stop growing in population. Sheesh. Manassas, what up? Richmond, we'll see you soon. Ocean City, what up? Shout out to the Beltway. Baltimore, Washington Parkway, what up? So DMB and the DMV tonight, and they were DC chilling like Wale. What a phenomenal show. And I have two guests here that I want to bring on to get their reaction from the show and start off with them because they were there. No Sirius XM radio stream, but shout out to the couch tour. But I want to get reaction. People were there. So without further ado, we're going to bring in Steph and Nick, who were both at this show. How you guys doing? Nick, how you doing? Oh, let me, oh, here we go.
There we go.
Yeah. How you doing, Nick?
Chilling, riding high.
And so, Nick, you were at back-to-back shows this weekend, correct?
Yeah, I've been at all four. So, Bethel, Hughes, Blossom, and then tonight, and then Homedale.
Wow, that's a great run of shows to start off. What did you think of tonight's show?
Yeah, buddy. I think the set lists speak for themselves, right? Like, Bethel was, you know, nothing special, let's just say. Hughes, a little bit better, but they still a little ways to go. You know, people started rumbling, and he shut us up. He sure did. Between last night and tonight, if you look at it as a 2-night run, I mean, there's absolutely no complaints. maybe songs that not everybody loves were in good spots, right? But overall, that was what we expected. That's how you start a tour, and yeah, that's the Dave we love. They
Yeah,
brought the heat. They brought the absolute heat.
and only repeat between the last two nights was Peace on Earth in the E1 spot. Everything else for tonight, you did not hear last night in Ohio there for Blossom. So it's like you
Yeah,
said, it's
and no Madman's either night.
that's true as well. So you got the Minarets last night, and then tonight, no Madman's. Steph, are you there? How you doing?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. And so
Okay, cool.
I know you came from Richmond up up
Yeah.
95. What did you think of this show tonight?
I was so impressed. It's definitely a a redeeming from the 23 show that I was at. Opening was so right, was incredible. Just there was a couple, like Nick said, there was a couple of songs, but they were in good places so you could go to the bathroom or whatever. It was great. I very much loved everything about it.
And you bring up that 2023 show, also a sellout like tonight. And there was a lot of anticipation from fans because it's hard for the band to get the last couple hundred lawn tickets sold. They did for Merriweather, and you had a you never know and a break free, but really it was like a festival set. You had a lot of stuff that's from the '90s radio, from Satellite to So Much to Say, Crash Into Me, which, hey, I like that, but it was just a very safe set for a show that sold out. That
Yeah.
doesn't happen a lot for amphitheater lawns actually selling out. And tonight, within the first five songs, only two other shows have had So Right, Best of What's Around, and The Stone in the same set list. So definitely, I would say anyone like you who made that trek up in hopes of a better show got it. Nick, what was it like in the pit tonight?
Fire. Energy was fire. Buddy was on fire. I'm always like typically left side, right? Like teleprompter, kind of like in line with Tim.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was great. Buddy was feeling it. There was a couple people, I guess they had like the balcony on like, in line with the pit, right? So they had some friends and family up there. They were grooving. Dave was feeling it. Yeah, man, there's zero complaints. Now again, right, you try to look at it objectively, and it's, was this so good because of Bethel and Q's? And yeah, obviously that adds a little emphasis on how amazing this was, right? And it just showcases their ability to bring the heat when they want to. But again, if you just, look at it as an isolated thing, like there's really no complaints. And I think that you take two sets with a Jimmy, Shake Me, Come On, and Satellite, and still say that they are phenomenal sets. That's how you know that they brought the sauce.
Yeah, and it seems like both of these shows this weekend uh, that you were at, they started off with a lot of uh, songs that people who like deep cuts enjoy,
Big time.
and
Big time.
then
Dive In was the last thing I needed to close out Big With You. It was great to hear
oh,
that.
that's
Like
awesome.
even their even their slow songs, right? Like where it would be Vain, it was Ocean yesterday instead, right? Like man, you just can't complain. I can't stress it enough.
Yeah, and then it's like they took some timeouts both of the last two nights with some of those songs like Ocean and the Butterfly last night, tonight Virginia in the Rain, just to kind of get a little bit of a breather before getting into some more high energy stuff towards the end of both the sets. So I think it's just one of those things that, like you, I love to get some of these songs checked off or get it for the second or third time. But there's also fans there that are they want the hits. They that's what they're there for. They may not know some of the deeper cuts. They're there specifically for the hits. So I think everyone got fed. What was some of the reactions in the crowd as far? What were the loudest reactions in the pit tonight?
Um, Lionel Graves people loved.
Okay.
Granny, I think, was a surprising thing, right? Like Barletta posted that it was the third ever Granny Encore closer, and only one of and the second one being on the Letterman show. So if you want to count that, but in regards to a real show, right? I guess what we would consider a typical show. The last one was 1993 at Trax. Last time was a Granny Encore closer. Again, never gonna complain about something cool like that. He cut so right last night.
Yeah.
So we expected to hear that tonight when when Craig dropped the baritone. We knew what was coming, and and we knew we were in for some good stuff.
Yeah, and Granny, the last three full band performances for Granny, tonight it was E2. The previous time it was played was a closer, and then you had the time before that was an opener. So it's gone opener, closer, E2 to kind of have this little bit of a run here. So that's kind of another cool thing. Steph, what I know you had said online you kind of under prepared for the weather. How was it like in the actual pavilion as far as the weather conditions?
The wind was blowing. It was like standing on a beach. I wasn't in the pavilion. I went up. They have this thing called the Sky Lawn. So, because I
Oh,
got a lawn ticket, and and so, but even like as soon as I got out of my car when I got there, the wind was blowing, and I was like, damn. And then, yeah, and then the temperature dropped, which I kind of knew, but it was 50 something degrees when I walked to my car. So it was very cold, but I danced a lot, so that kind of helped it to a degree. My feet were a little frozen though, because I wore Birks, so my bad.
and it even though it was warmer than Bethel, I'm sure you felt that, Nick. The Eastern Seaboard right now for some of these DMB shows that have happened so far, it's been below average as far as these overnight temperatures. Usually it's a little warmer. So uh,
Yeah, he
what
actually said something about that too. He's like, it's June and it doesn't feel like it. And he's like, y'all cozy up with each other, and he definitely mentioned it too.
Yeah, and that I'm hoping it gets better as someone who lives on the East Coast here. Nick, one of the things I saw here on the couch tour, Jimmy thing, right to a solo, like a drum solo, and then Craig gets out the soprano guitar for Dave. What was it like to experience that Jimmy thing,
That
not
was
to a
sick.
cover, but an idea of you?
Yeah, that was really cool. Before the show, we saw him gearing up the uh, the red one, and we were hoping for obviously shotgun or idea view. Never expected that it would come out of directly Jimmy thing, but it was perfect. It was great, and it kept the energy going. Um, Mid set, great placement, and yeah, that was a really good half hour.
And it's the first time that it has been played at this venue. They were here in 23, as Steph mentioned, 2021 as well. There was a Dave and Tim show. Obviously, you're not going to play it there, but kind of nice for people who may only go to these shows in Maryland to get that song there. Steph, what was your favorite song of the night?
Well,
So,
idea of
oh,
you
good.
definitely took me away. It was amazing. It was like I was like, how people in church feel it. I felt it, and every day, both of those were top of the line, because I can't remember the last time I heard Every Day, and I love Buddy on it. So the people around me were crazy, looking at me like I was crazy when they went to Buddy, and I screamed because a lot of radio fans were around me. So um, they were like looking at me like, what? And then obviously once Buddy started singing, oh, they brought their phones back out and started recording again. So every day was incredible. And then Idea of You, that took me, I was so surprised, and that was so good.
And Nick, what was your favorite song of the night?
So thankfully, So Right and Bo are both in my top five of all time.
Uh huh.
So to get them back to back off the rip was just unbelievable. Couldn't ask for more. Could not ask for more than that. That was good enough. And then Stone in the four slider, I believe it's the four slider. I don't remember exactly, but
Yeah.
yeah. So Right in the Boa, man, that's the dream.
And just before we let you go, Nick, anything that maybe us from home may have not experience, but maybe people in the venue, like something that may have happened, something on stage, or anything that you would point out that for people at home that was kind of a interesting thing?
Um, I I don't think that they really practiced that Jimmy Inside idea of you, and Carter just kind of orchestrated that extremely well. That was fun to watch that eye contact. The Stone, they did one extra iteration of the crowd singing. They were going to chop it off, and then Carter just went one more
Nice.
because of how loud it was, which was really fun to watch. And again, that's like my favorite part of being in the pit is getting to watch them all interact with each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, a couple little things here and there that was really great.
And Steph, same question. Just anything that maybe you noticed at the show that at home we may have not realized or noticed.
No, I mean from where I was at, everything. I mean, Dave always messes up words, but anybody would have seen that on Couch Tours. I didn't really notice anything, but again, my view, and I close my eyes a lot when I'm feeling it. So I didn't notice anything. I mean, it just seemed so perfect. Like it just, everything just seemed so perfect. So I didn't notice anything.
Yeah, well, I love when Dave messes up lyrics and makes up new ones. It makes it fun. It makes it kind of unscripted, like a stand-up comedy sketch where someone's adapting to the crowd. So I love that. So I don't actually give them, check points off for that. But hey, Steph, Nick, thank you guys for coming on immediately after a show. I know you guys got to get back home or hang out with friends and there's traffic. So I appreciate your time and hope you guys have a good night.
Thanks. Bye.
Yes, sir. See you on the road.
Take care. All right. So we want to thank our guests for coming on. And if you want to come on the post-show stream, reach out to me, X, Facebook, Instagram, ConcertViz34. And I'll try to get you on. Nick reached out to me, and I appreciate him reaching out. I had asked this Thursday or Friday on Instagram, hey, you guys want to come in? And then I saw Steph. I know Steph hung out with her with other friends, so I just texted her and said, hey, you want to come on? So it's always nice to get that perspective, and as many people I can get on, even if we have 7-8 people on, I want to have as many people as possible. Shout out to all the Pacers fans. I see Sandra in the chat. You did beat the Knicks. I know my guy Boiler Mike out there in Indiana as well. Got to see Purdue get to a Final Four or a national championship game versus my Huskies, and now his Pacers. He went to one of the games in this series. His Pacers are going to the finals there. So, what's up, Samuel? Good to see you on the chat as well. This show, to me, not having the covers is a special thing. I'm not a fan of Do You Remember Every Day or You and Me, but I'd rather hear those Dave songs, and I'd rather get those moments where the casual fan, the radio fan can get that instead of a cover. I fully admit that covers are extremely powerful to raising the momentum of the fans who are there for the first time or who don't know D&B songs, but they know Watchtower, or they know another cover like Sledgehammer because they're just popular pop culture songs from different eras of music. But a lot of the older fans, if they're only there for their second or third D&B show, they'll know Sledgehammer or Watchtower. I get that. I still think it's better to have a bunch of D&B songs in a set only. Just tonight, they're seeing this thing get opened up into having even more songs be played. Every cover to me is a moment where they can play another D&B song. And I think they did great with that. This show just solidifies yet again that last week was a unique circumstance. The festivals that aren't part of what we consider the official summer tour, I think some of the names are on the shirts. I can't remember. But the summer tour to me started last night. But the real official summer tour in the swing of promotion was Bethel. But I still say this, Bethel was very similar to Tampa. This band needs a couple of reps, right? And if we even go back to that Bethel show, this band needs a couple of reps to really kind of get out. So for this show, they played Nancy's to open up. They played Warehouse. They played some, You Never Know as a deep cut. They played Billy's, which is not as common in this modern era, depending on the year. They played A Typical Situation to work out that long form jam. And they didn't play Jimmy. Like, they didn't play Jimmy. They didn't play You and Meh. This opening show was good, and it's very adjacent to Tampa last year. They kind of are working out the sound. They're adjusting. But this band, it takes them a couple of shows to really work out some of the sound and the lighting and all that stuff, because they're older. And they're still phenomenal musicians, but I think it just takes time. That's okay. So this Bethel show, yes, you look at Tonight, and obviously a lot of fans who love deep cuts are going to say Tonight was by far better. But the Bethel show was not that bad. Here again is where you go right from the Bethel show to a festival. So they're like, we're playing Boston Calling. Boston in general, even though Mansfield used to have 2 nights, I've been to pretty much every Mansfield show since 2013. I missed night 2 2013, but night 1 2013 to present, I've only missed night 2 of 2013. That's every other show except one. And even the audience there, a lot of fans who were following this band around in the 90s, early 2000s, maybe they had a family, maybe they're taking their kids to travel soccer for 5-10 years. And some of these fans have come back to concerts as their children are now teenagers or going to college. So they like What Would You Say? They like Crash Into Me. They like So Much Bridge Too Much. Those are songs that hit well. They love Watchtower. So this set was made for a festival where you have the casual fans from Mansfield and people from Boston who don't drive out to Mansfield. Maybe they don't even have a car, and public transit is hard to get to Mansfield. Foxborough's a little easier for Patriots, but Mansfield's hard. So this set was a festival set. This is, I think, what threw a lot of people off, because they're like, you have Bethel. Okay, that's all right. It's a cool little warm up. And then you have this show, which still is a better festival set than most shows, arguably in the last 5 years or so. And then you get to Syracuse, and yes, you do have a little bit more. You get some tour debuts and stuff, but you still have Word Up played, and Word Up being played every single show except Tonight was another thing that fans were like, listen, we have covers, but they get rotated in and out, right? Granny says, I call her Granny. Sandra says, I could go the rest of my life and never hear Stairway to what, I don't need Watchtower ever in a set anymore. Like, I think when there was a violin in the band, it was a better song. And I think before my time of seeing shows in 99, it was even a better song. It was more unique. So I don't find as much value in, but I mean, listen, the crowd loves it, but I'm not as thrilled about it anywhere in the set, but it's better. Anyway, it's better mid-set. So they play this Syracuse show. And again, this is a Tuesday show in Syracuse. Syracuse doesn't get shows every year, so they play more of you got some good stuff here and there, but it's more of a casual fan set, again, on a Tuesday in Syracuse. But now we get to this weekend was the first real weekend of the summer tour. And this is where scheduling matters. Scheduling matters. Blossom is the first real show of the tour where there's no festival and confusion, and it's just, this is a venue that this band has a loyal following. The Ohio D&B fans support wherever they play, whether it's Riverbend, whether it's Blossom. So you have a lot of fans here in Cleveland, in Cincinnati, in Akron, who they know this stuff. And the band loves Blossom like they love some of the other classic Sheds. So they played this thing out. You got really the first real show where this band had everything comfortable. They had some days off. Buddy went to AC/DC. I think Rodrigo and a couple other band members went as well in Cleveland. One of the day after Syracuse on Wednesday, there was some other stuff on Thursday. I think Rashawn went to the Rock Hall to truly enjoy the Rock Hall experience. When they were there for the Rock Hall ceremony, they had limited time to enjoy the exhibit, and the exhibit had just came out, and there's a lot of crowds. But they actually went there over this time between Syracuse and Friday to enjoy that Rock Hall exhibit. So they're very relaxed. They're getting into the swing of things, and then they finally play this phenomenal show. And then tonight, I was still worried about tonight. I was like, they may have some bangers, but it may not have as many as we hope for. And tonight's show was just by far a continuation of what we saw on Friday, with a completely unique set outside of Peace on Earth. Right. And I think that's this type of scheduling of show flow and songs is what is ideal for anyone and everyone. I thought what we saw tonight was not going to happen until we hit the first 2-night stand of the year, which is Charleston. Oh, no, there's Brazil, but Brazil's going to probably have more casual fan stuff. Even though the crowds are amazing there, they'll still play some more casual fan stuff. Maybe a couple deep cuts, but I think they're going to play it like it is a festival. 2 nights of it, but they're going to play more festivals type songs. So I thought some of what we saw tonight wouldn't hit until Charleston, but they're hitting a swing. And to me, with the cost of tickets, I told y'all, I know I say this almost every show. I said, I'm not going to Bethel, and I'm not going to Boston Calling. The Boston Calling was too expensive for a festival set. I know there was other acts, but I don't want to stand in the crowd and do all this other stuff for all day and deal with all these people. Like, I just want to see DMB and get back home to my son. That's all I care about now. So, and I'm going to less shows because I'm not going to miss out on special these early days. So I have some stuff planned for SPAC and Guilford, but then I'm back home. I'm trying to max. So like, I think that's what fans are going to have to do. But if the band plays like this, So Right, Boa, Stone, Pig, amongst Funny the Way It Is and some other stuff, you start off shows like that, even if it slows down, you started off the show with bangers. I know some people the last 2 nights have said, oh, it slowed down and da-da-da-da-da-da. But like that doesn't matter to me as much. I want to get a couple of these banger songs. I'd rather them start off with fire and in the middle of the show slow it down. And that's where you can go to the bathroom. If you're a deep cut lover like me, if you're a casual fan, you stay at your seat. There's nothing wrong with what you like and don't like. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Everyone has different reasons they love this band. This is the most Before These Crowded Streets songs in a single set for this summer tour. 4 of them. It had been hiding and not really getting a lot of love, but it's great to see that they're mixing it up. And tonight, BTCS and Crash are the top ones. Big Whiskey gets 3 songs, right? And so you do see that. Shake Me mid-set is better than Shake Me as an encore closer. Shake Me mid-set is a fun way to have people have a little fun, get the energy up or continue the energy. Shake Me during a main set is like the Toronto Maple Leafs and Dallas Cowboys in the regular season. They're very good. It's great. Life is good. This is our year. Shake Me in the encore is like the Maple Leafs and Cowboys in the playoffs. Just laziness, sad, disappointment. How are you going to end a show like that? That's how I feel about Shake Me. I think in the middle of a set, it is the Cowboys and Maple Leafs in the regular season. And the Jimmy thing, Idea of You thing is just a huge, huge change of pace. Again, cover your catalog. This band has way too many songs. I know they have fun with the covers. I know they're going to still play covers, and that's fine. But the optimal set to me, you do a Jimmy thing and you go right into Idea of You. If you're going to play, because they're going to play Jimmy thing. Dave loves that song, right? And so I just thought that was another great moment. And obviously PNP and the Pig, the Stone, Bo was her, like, all that stuff is just phenomenal. Now, let me just get another setup because I want to compare this to, again, I'm going to get another browser up. And while I do that, you guys will be able to just see this. But I do want to go to the previous Merriweather show because there's different angles of DMB that exist. And one of the big things is, just like I was talking with Boston, is the radio hits. The radio hits are different than some of the other like happy songs or fun songs. So tonight you did get some of those radio hits, but check this out. You did not get Ants Marching, right? And so sometimes, and listen, I like I like ants, but like to get to kind of rotate some stuff out was a great thing. So for tonight, you start off this show with So Right, Boa, Funny the Way It Is, the Stone. And so a couple of things that I saw, observing from people watching live streams like me, and then observing from some of the Couch Tour live streams, shout out to the Couch Tour streamers. There was a couple, a girlfriend and boyfriend, and the boyfriend was his first show. The girlfriend got him into the band, and she had been to shows before. They were swapping Couch Tour streaming. And so I thought that was like, I thank them for streaming that. But it was his first show, so he didn't know the Stone. He knew some of the songs, but he didn't know the Stone, right? He did not know the Stone at all. So that's one of the things, even though fans love the Stone who are like longtime DMB fans, a lot of casual fans have never heard it. It does not get played that much. And to the credit of Dave, that song, just playing that song with your hand, your dexterity, that song takes a lot out of me. Sometimes like I can't even get through the song just playing the actual parts because my hand just can't take it. So I understand why it's not played as much. But the thing is, because of that, you have people that can go to a venue. Someone, I think it was someone, my friend Greg and Sandy, shout out to them, Connecticut fans who came last minute down here. They said someone by them had been to 26 shows and hadn't heard the Stone. So the Stone is a song that people who have heard it or people who actually explore the catalog past the shows, they know it. But there's a lot of fans who can go to a venue for 10, 15 years, never hear the Stone there, and not really know as much about it because a lot of DMB fans for years, they just hit the tailgate up because it was something to do. They hit the shows up because it was something to do. And if there weren't songs in heavy rotation in set lists in the late 90s, early 2000s, where they were their specific venue, they don't know the songs. I've been multiple times early in my DMB career. There would be people who are like, oh, I go every year since this show. And they didn't know certain songs like the Stone. So tonight's show, it started off with songs that even casual fans may have not known. Even though there's songs that if you're watching this stream and you study the band and you listen to the Couch Tour and all this stuff, you know those songs like the back of your hand. And so that's a big distinction with anything DMB. You have people who just go to the shows to be outside in the summertime and never listen to deep tracks or full albums. And then you have people who, like us, many of you guys in this chat, you listen to the albums, you go to the shows, you do all this stuff. I think it was Megan I saw her post on X during Rab's open with So Right. The lawn was not going crazy in certain parts wherever Rab was, right? And so that's the other thing. You may think, oh, So Right, it's such a great song. It pleases a lot of people. Yes, it pleases a lot of hardcore fans who are both like the whole phone book of Dave. They can listen to Dave read the phone book. They like So Right. And the people like me who love deep cuts like So Right. And that's what's great about that song. It unites the diehard Dave can play the phone book. I love every set. And the diehard, I want some stuff to be creative. But some people just don't know that song. Again, it may not hit your venue for many years. I think it was T Mike. Did he post something about first? It was like his first So Right since 2002, or it was one song. Was it So Right? I think it was So Right. But that's the thing is like some people haven't seen these songs for 15 years, even though they go to different shows in their region. But let's get over to this is 2023. So they start off with Satellite, PMP Rapunzel's Predictable versus PMP and the Pig. Nancy's is a song that, you know, people who go to shows every year with their friends since high school, they know that song, right? So they'll know Rapunzel, they'll know Nancy's, they'll know Satellite, right? Grace is Gone, they would know. They may know Funny the Way It Is, it depends. Same with So Damn Lucky, they may know it. So Much to Bridge, Too Much, they're going to know that. Those are, like, especially So Much to Say, that was a radio single. And then you have Like Why I Am, some of the Big Whiskey people know that song who maybe joined during Big Whiskey. And then you have Crash Into Me and Bayou. Those are songs. Well, Bayou, it depends. But Crash Into Me is arguably like the biggest song DMB has. That Satellite and Ants are kind of the trinity of, you may know one of these songs. You heard it in a department store or heard it on the radio or saw TRL when these songs were hot and popping in the streets. So this show had a You Never Know and a Break Free. Outside of that, a lot of this stuff is festival song choices. And the You Never Know and Break Free being separated, what makes tonight's show great, this is Tonight Show 2025, you have a momentum of some great songs, So Right to Boa. Now, they play Funny the Way It Is. I've gotten back on I kind of like this song more than I did a couple years ago. But it is a transition song. It's not a banger in the sense of Boa, So Right in the Stone, but it gets the energy. It continues the energy into the Stone. Then you get PMP Pig. So outside of Funny is just a little bit of a transition. It does not kill the mood. It just transitions everything. But you get all of these bangers in a cluster. To me, I'd rather have that than to have two bangers at the beginning, end of the set, like the Merriweather show from 2023. And that's just how I feel. Someone says, Hani 46, this was a great show. Had a great time. Lots of mud in the lawn. So yeah, there's been a lot of rain on the East Coast. I think there was rain today for Merriweather. And people were like, is it going to be like, these are more Reddit questions, like fans who may have not been to a DMB show in a while. Hey, is there going to cancel it because of the cold weather and rain? And we're like, no, unless there's a tornado. I would know personally. Or there's, was it like lightning strikes? That severe weather. They get a severe weather warning, they will postpone or cancel a show. They will try to ride it out like Guilford Night 1 last year, which was Live Track 69. That's crazy. A rain delay. And we got a very great show there in Guilford. They waived the curfew for that. And by the way, Granny, again, we talked about it with Nick. Granny closing out shows is great. But I just like where this band is right now. They're in a great spot, and I was worried about I thought they would have improvements, but they've exceeded my expectations. Having the Stone be a tour debut this early in the tour, having Granny close out a show, having So Right open, and really have a great balance of everything. Because I'm well aware, again, I don't like covers where people like them, but there's a balance. They played You and Meh, which they kind of sat down every day, aka every May. They sat that song down, which I was happy about. The last couple of years, it hasn't been played as much, especially I think it was 2023. I mean, they really, I think, hardly played that song, which I liked, but people like that song. The funny thing is, though, as much as I hate that song, I play that song for my son because it's like a song that, he'll remember that song, and it's a positive song like that gets him kind of a little bit happy and, gets him moving, and he loves hearing acoustic guitar. So I will actually play every day, even though I hate that song. I don't hate it. It's a great message. It's just, I don't need to hear it live at a show. And Buddy does a great job. I will say this, Buddy does a great job. I'll even say this. The electric violin Boyd versions that I heard, like, there's no need to me, it was a waste of time for that song to be jammed out with electric violin where Boyd just, I'm like, dude, wrap it up. Like, there's other, like, Boyd did so many different things on the violin that just added to the show. But the everyday thing, I was like, just wrap it up. Like the Chappelle Show thing, the wrap it up button or box. Come on, Buddy. I mean, come on, not Buddy. Shout out to Buddy Strong. Come on, Boyd. Just hurry this thing up. I think Buddy, who plays in tune, unlike Boyd, but Buddy gives a little bit of a different swing and kind of has a little bit of energy. And some people don't like that, but I think the Buddy version, the Buddy actual playing is better than the E violin, which just went around in circles. Like, will it go around in circles? Yeah, it will. That's my opinion though. But this is a song that's happy and it's upbeat and for a concert environment it fits. And so they brought it back this year. Do you remember? It's been the first time in a long time they played that. So again, it has been reduced. They're bringing this stuff back that hadn't been played in a while. I mean, I don't really like Do You Remember? But it is about a neighbor of Dave's who passed away, I believe. There. Virginia in the Rain makes its comeback in the middle of the set. You guys don't have to worry about it. I know there was controversy of it opening shows or being early on in shows. There. Let's talk about the poster. All right, let me get that poster on. Boom. There we go. And we have this poster. Let me just pull up my notes here. Not a methane. That's a positive. This was a poster that I thought this was a good poster. We have had a poster. We've had some posters with some ladies and women in them. This one's a little bit different. You have a bird and a lady. They're a blackbird. Take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life. Shout out to the Beatles. Let me just go to this. This was Elizabeth Gallagher. Or no, Evangeline Gallagher. Sorry, Evangeline Gallagher. That's _art on X. And she's out of Baltimore, so it's great to see a local artist. I don't know what kind of bird it is, to be honest. I don't know if it's a crow or a black. I don't know. I just said blackbird. But it's great to see them go out to someone like this, a local. And maybe there's a message in there from this area. I don't specifically know. But what was I gonna say? Oh, this area of the DMV, I love. I spent my summers down here as a kid. Like, I know these cities. I used to go to the Macaroni Grill, which it closed down. I checked out. There's a Macaroni Grill in Silver Spring, Maryland that I used to go to. It's funny. You go down to Maryland, and as a kid, I'm like, I just want to go to this Macaroni Grill, man. Like, to my aunt. I used to spend summers with my aunt there in high school. I was just like, I just want to go to the Macaroni Grill. Can we go there? Like, all the stuff. I don't like seafood. I don't like the crab cakes. My aunt loves. We used to go to the harbor, and she used to get the crab cakes and other seafood. But I'm not a seafood guy. It's overpriced, and I just don't like it. So why waste my money? But I used to spend. I mean, I've been to Baltimore. I did journalism camp, Maryland College Park. I did NASA camp. There was a NASA camp at the Goddard Space Center. I used to go to Orioles games. I still remember Camden Yards is one of the most beautiful ballparks I've been to. And I've been to Wrigley. I've been to Fenway. But Camden Yards is just, it was done right. And so I love this area of the country. PG County, I know all about it. You got nice house, you got nice mansions on one block, and a couple blocks over it's the hood. DC, I remember being in DC post 9/11. My aunt was a U.S. probation officer, and I used to go into work with her and do my summer reading in like a separate room when she had, and we used to have the metal detectors post 9/11. They was not playing in DC. Okay. And what else? I used to go, I've been to every like museum almost. I haven't been to the new African American museum. I know Leroy Moore Sachs is in there, but pretty much every other like free museum, the White House. I went to the Capitol. If y'all know, before 9/11, the Capitol tour, they used to let you just walk all around. Before I went in 2001, the summer of 2001. I went to DC with my parents to actually visit the sites. We used to go down there to visit my aunt when she was in B Moore, and then she moved down to Bowie, and then Anne Arundel, Russet, and right on the tip of Anne Arundel County. The locals, y'all know what I'm talking about. But my aunt lived in Russet, right before you get to Laurel in PG County, right on that county line, almost by the racetrack. So my aunt moved on up because Bowie, there was like a carjacking every day in Bowie. I think they were averaging one carjacking per day in Bowie. And she's like, I got to get out of here. She was the lady in Gray Street. She's like, I got to get out of this, please. there's a carjacker down the street. Duh, duh, duh. And then she got a nice townhouse in Russet. And then, of course, Northern Virginia, this whole area of the country has, like, when I was a little kid, parts of DC that was rough, they started getting nicer. Northern Virginia, all the housing and crowded areas that now reach down to Richmond. And then, of course, the city of Baltimore has gone through some changes, but the suburbs are kind of just high demand places, high traffic areas. I used to go to, like I said, Camden Yards, the ESPN zone in the Inner Harbor. If y'all know, man, that place was absolutely, when I was in high school, ooh, you couldn't tell me. That ESPN zone was a lot of fun. So shout out to everyone there in Maryland, in DC, in Northern Virginia. I used to run all around there. My dad left me with my aunt. Well, it's my mom's sister. It's aunt on my mom's side. My mom's sister, that's the family member who lived down there. When I was like 2 years old, my parents came to visit. They're like, "Can you babysit?" My dad wanted to go to see Camden Yards. It had just opened like the year before, and they were selling out that place every night because that was like Cal Ripken Orioles when he was not missing games. And so he and my mom, kind of like how some of y'all go to get a babysitter for the concerts for D&B. My aunt was the babysitter, and they went to Camden Yards back when it was sold out. And so many memories from there. So we move on to Homedale, and let me just get the set times for you guys. Again, what I've been doing is just getting some people to give me the set times, approximate set times. It may be off by 30 seconds or whatever. For when the band gets on and off. And just full disclosure, this is not to say, oh, the band is playing shorter shows. It's just to give people that are going to the shows a good idea of what's been happening the last couple of nights. So let me get back here. All right, so Homedale is up next. You look here, every show has started in the 740s. You had Bethel 746, Syracuse 743. I didn't count Boston Calling because it's a unique thing. And then 748 for Blossom, 744 for Merriweather. Now tonight the band got off at 10:22, and the other nights they've been 19, 19, 17. If you're going to Homedale for the first time, give yourself an extra hour and a half, 2 hours, if possible, to get to that venue. The Garden State Parkway during rush hour is crazy. People have missed openers, and this venue has had the first time that Shotgun has ever opened a show, and the first time American Baby Intro, I believe. No, has it? Yeah, it was ABI. That was the same. That was that 2023 year. It was the first time it opened there. So get there early because some people have missed those epic openers, stuck in traffic, stuck in lines. So give yourself an extra 2 hours. Get there early, better early than late. I would, if you try to see what the lines look like, if you're tailgating, walk up, see the lines. It's better to get in the venue earlier than to get in the venue later there. But I would think that the show would start around the same time. There are going to be some venues, and please comment below or let me know if you know a venue very well. But some venues like Charleston may start a little bit earlier, just based on previous history. It could start at 7:30 because there is a curfew that is more in a residential area or an area that people don't want this thing to be loud all night. So they will have to be strict to that curfew. So they'll still get a show in, right? The curfew, I believe, for Charleston is 10:30, but they will just try to start. They may start like at 7:40 or 7:35. So for Charleston, for example, you want to get there early. Obviously, for the Gorge, they're going to have openers, so they're going to start later. But if you want to enjoy the Gorge, get there early, crest the hill early for your first night at least. So I'll try to get some stuff in here for set times. I may keep them. And again, it's not to say, oh, the band's playing shorter. See, I told you. That's just a heads up for there. The last thing I did want to do is I saw this. I don't know who this person is, but I just when it comes to ALS, I lost a family friend, and I saw them, like I hadn't seen them in a while, and then I saw them in the last kind of portions, the last couple of times before they passed away. And this thing is brutal. It was heartbreaking to see my family friend. Her daughter was a year or two younger than me, and she's known my grandparents and my dad for a long time. She married someone who grew up in Virginia with my dad and my grandparents. And my grandfather was like a huge father figure to her husband, who still, I saw him in January. But that family friend passed away from ALS, and it's just it's a heartbreaking disease. It's just, you physically, you go into the hospital to visit, or you go into the house, and again, I hadn't seen a family. I only see them every now and then, but at the end, it broke my heart. So I believe this is Courtney Finney. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Her husband had posted that she passed away on May 29th. My sweet girl, my best friend, the love of my life, left this earth. I know I'll never see you again, but until then, you remain my loving wings. So, my thoughts, my prayers, my just anything of empathy that I can pass along. I know it doesn't change the tragic loss, but I saw this on an Alpine group today. She had made it to Alpine last year, despite some of the issues. But I wanted to play Loving Wings to close out, and the one that Dave dedicated to Ian for that Dave and Tim Mexico Night 2 show. But I did see this right like a couple hours ago, and my heart breaks for anyone who knew Courtney. I'm glad that her and her husband were able to get to the show last year at Alpine. I was there at night 1, but I know ALS is just it's terrible. And again, I just will never forget going to the hospital that last time and seeing my family, friends. I only can imagine what her husband's going through there. And just, I'll play this in memory of Courtney. It's your boy ConcertViz34. I'll see you guys on Tuesday for Homedale, and we'll talk D&B then. If you want to come on as a guest, come on. But rest in peace to Courtney Finney, who recently just passed away a couple of days ago. We'll close out with Loving Wings.
I'm going to send this to my friend Ian Kuhn, who can't be here right now. But he would be if he could be. Was made of broken bones, my soul a bag of stick and stone, and you along this dusty road have come, my love, to take me home. So I give to you my everything. You've given me these loving wings, and angels have all gathered round to hear me sing my love out loud. Oh, 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 oh. You lightly lifted me away out of the darkness cold and gray. I work beneath the midday sun, my cool blue water you have come. So I give to you my everything. You've given me these loving wings, and angels have all gathered round to hear me sing my love out loud. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, 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 well. So take your place here next to me, and I'll take my place there next to thee. And no matter how far we may roam, it's by your side I'll call my home. I give to you my everything. You've given me these loving wings, and angels have all gathered round to hear me sing my love out loud. Oh, oh, I'm going to send this to my friend Ian Kuhn, who can't be here right now.